It finishes at Craven Cottage, Fulham 0, Newcastle United 1, in a very strange game of football, in which really the classic cliche of it's all about getting the points now, sod the performances. Because the first half an hour, that's as bad as you're ever going to see from Newcastle United. And we've had some stinkers this season. But that first half an hour was dreadful. And there's no ifs or buts about it. We were rotten. And to be fair, if Fulham had had a very decent strike force, they would have been out of sight. But the problem for Fulham today was that they just lacked a little bit of quality up front. And if they'd had that quality up front, God knows what the score would have been. However, the flip side of that is they weren't very good in front of goal today. And we were when we got the opportunity. I thought the lineup was a little bit strange, dropping Barnes and dropping Anderson. I can understand Anderson in a way because of obviously just coming back from a very long layoff. Playing him over and over again might be a little bit dicey. However, Willock came in and did absolutely nothing. Now, looking at Willock today, people may say that the kid is still carrying an injury because, let's be honest, since he's come back, he ain't looked great. He's looked very off the pace, a little bit lethargic, and obviously, took one on the ankle today and he's gone off injured. Elliot Anderson came on, had a very strong finish to the first half, went a bit missing in the first 15 of the second, but then came back into it when we started really turning the screw a little bit. Now, for me, the main point of the game came when we took Murphy off. I thought Jacob Murphy had his worst game in a Newcastle shirt that I've seen for a very, very long time. And, I love Jacob Murphy. I love his commitment to the club. I love the way he plays the game. But he was rank bad today and off form completely. But the change when Harvey Barnes came on, the push Gordon to the right, I think that probably won us the game. Because Barnes created chances when he came on. We should have been in front a couple of times, really. Fabian Schär's goal disallowed for the VAR. I thought it was a little harsh at first, but the more I see it, it was definitely a push by Dan Burn. I mean, you're not going to get away with them in the penalty area these days with VAR, with their eagle eyes on it. But then we didn't stop. We came back 5 minutes later, and then the Brazilian maestro Bruno sticking it in the bottom corner. And the away fans go absolutely nuts. We go nuts on the Matchday Live show. And although Fulham threw the Alamo at us, especially in the last sort of 9 minutes of the additional time, they didn't really create anything. Martin Dubravka's had a couple of saves to make today where they've been very, very comfortable for him. Where he hasn't had to really overstretch. They've been pretty much straight at him. He's dealt with them well, don't get me wrong. I think Dubravka had a very good game today. Came and claimed crosses very well. His distribution was okay. His saving. A couple of times a little slow off his line. But listen, that's Martin Dubravka. That's what we got with him now. We know that he's not the goalkeeper that will come charging off his line. He took 2 nasty blows in the first half. We thought he might be replaced in the second. He didn't. He got treatment at half-time. He came back. And listen, he was very, very good today, Martin Dubravka. But I must give a very, very big shout-out to the back four, who I thought were immense this afternoon. Simply immense. Lewis Hall started the game quite shakily, I'll have to say. The first 10 minutes, he looked all over the place, and I thought, oh my God, his confidence has disappeared. However, he grew into the game the more and more time went on. Emil Kraft on the other side, you look at that performance in the first half, he saved us a couple of goals. The way he held up Munoz twice through bad defending by other people. I thought Emil Kraft immense today defending. Didn't get forward a lot, but defending-wise, absolutely brilliant. But those two centre-backs, again, rose to the occasion and defended like warriors. Fabian Schär was back to his best today. There is no doubt about that. The clearances he made, playing it out of defence. Dan Burn, again, getting his head to everything, going in where it hurts and getting the ball cleared. You cannot criticise the back four today. They were just incredible. And not just the back four, actually. I think I'm doing people a disservice. I think the whole team deserves credit because they battled like warriors. And, so many times we look at Newcastle United and say, right, what's the main thing we want to see from our players? And it's commitment. Commitment to that badge they're wearing. And you can't say that they weren't committed. Yes, the football in the first half an hour was simply dreadful. Dreadful. But what they didn't do is drop their heads. It's very easy when you're not playing very well, think, oh, sod this, you know what I mean? What's the point? We're playing crap. But they didn't. They didn't drop their heads. They kept going. And then we had a 10-minute spell in the first half. Anthony Gordon had 2 brilliant opportunities. Flashed one wide of the post on his right foot. Tried on his left and flashed one wide there. He was remarkably good again today. And he gave Castagne all sorts of problems, as did Barnes when he came on. So I think we rather than look at any negatives of the first half an hour today, we have to say that although we had little possession and things like that, we fought like warriors to get another 3 points. And nobody's going to look back at the end of the season and remember this performance. What they will remember is the fact that we got 3 points. And that is what it's all about now, this time in the season. It is all about the points. And we can criticise as we're watching the game, say, oh, this is crap, we're playing terribly. But by the time the match has ended, if we've got those 3 points, this time of the season is all that counts. For me, anyway, that's the way I'm thinking of it. We are still challenging for Europe, and we've got a chance of getting a European place. And that is all that counts now. For the remainder of the season, they go out there and they perform with the passion and commitment they've shown. We will still get results. Are we going to go on and win every single game for the rest of the season? Probably not. But what we are showing is that the lads are still together. There is still that togetherness in the squad. And we are ready to fight. They are ready to go on that pitch and fight for that shirt, fight for that badge, and fight for the club and the fans. And as a Newcastle fan, watching that this afternoon, really frustrated with the first half an hour and thinking, God, where are we going here? This is dreadful. What have we been training for all, since the Everton game? Where is the game plan? But you know what? If you look back to the match preview, we all said that we expect Fulham to come out at 100 mile an hour at us because of what happened to them at Nottingham Forest earlier in the week. Marco Silva having to make changes after half an hour, taking 3 players off after half an hour. They were out with a point to prove today. And they started the game probably as we expected it, and probably as Eddie Howe expected it. I don't think Eddie would have expected us to play as badly as we did when we got the ball. But Fulham threw everything at us. But they didn't create a lot. They had a lot of possession, played some nice stuff until they got to the final third. And when they got to the final third, it just died off for them. They did have a couple of shots, like I say, but nothing major that forced Dubravka into a worldie of a save. Anything he comfortably dealt with. And I think as the game went on, Newcastle got their heads together. Certainly second half, we were a little bit shaky first 10 minutes of the second half, but then we grew into it. We started attacking a bit more. The changes were made, and I think that made a big difference because we had outlets. Bruno was getting the ball and pinging it out to Barnes, pinging it to Gordon, and we had the fullbacks all over the place, twisting and turning. Castagne will go into that dressing room dizzy as hell because he won't know if he's turned left, right, or going straight on. It was absolutely brilliant from Gordon on that side, and then Barnes did the same to him. But Anthony Gordon was tremendously good again today. I thought Isak just lacked in. Isak worked hard today, but his touch wasn't quite there that it has been in previous games. He had a couple of opportunities to take the ball in on goal and, took a little bit of a heavy touch. But look, at the end of the day, we've won 1-0. I couldn't give a toss about the rest. It's all about the points. And we've got 3 today. 7 points out of 9 for 3 games in a week. I think we'll take that. Quite honestly, I think we'll take that. It could have been 4 out of 9 had we not won today. I think, 5 out of 9 with a draw. But you know what I mean. It's just, you've got to think of this as a positive rather than look at the negatives of the first half an hour. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm just so proud of the lads that they've gone down there, they've got the 3 points, they're bringing the 3 points home, and we build now for the rest of the season. It's just critical we keep the points coming in. But let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Who stood out for you? Who didn't stand out for you? Are you confident that we can get a European place? It's still there. It's still there for us. So as long as it's still there, you can guarantee that the lads will keep fighting. But let me know what you think. So thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please do give it the thumbs up. It is very important for the channel. We keep those likes coming in. And of course, if you're new and you like what you see, please do subscribe. It's free to do so. And also hit the notification bell so that you never miss an upload or you never miss when we schedule in a live show. But thank you very much for watching. Please have a cracking weekend now, especially after a win. Our next live show will be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, of course, on Sunday evening when we do the match review and the player ratings. So join us all for that. But in the meantime, take care.